Good evening. How you doing? It's so windy where I am at the moment. It feels like I might get blown off the side of the balcony. So if you can't hear me at any point, just type in the chat box and let me know, and I'll try and move around. I've got so much to tell you. But before I do, babe, James, share. Mate James share my lives for me. He sat in the house minding his own business. I'm like, come on, do your job, for fuck's sake. How are we? Who's there? Hey Rochelle. Hey Hayley. Hey Kerry. Kezia, good evening. So news. So freaking excited. I'll just share this with you briefly and then I'll jump in. Hey Nixie, to what we're going to be talking about tonight, which is rather juicy. But news, so put an offer in on a new house. Hey Sarah, and I know what you're all thinking. Another one? You've only just finished the last one. I've got the bug. I have got the bug. Oh, thank you, honey. Hey Maria. Put an offer in a new house and it was accepted. We're so happy. Didn't think that we'd get it because we did go in quite low. Just thought we'd kind of, be cheeky, see what happens, expecting them to come back with a counter offer, and they were like, we'll take it. So of course the next question was like, well, what's wrong with it? So we're doing all the checks and everything now, but we are in the process of purchasing our next home, which is really, I say home, I'm never going to live there, but it's exciting. It's another property for our portfolio, but it's unleashed this new mission that I've got, because you guys know how much I love to travel. You know that a big part of the reason that I started an online business was because I wanted to be free. I wanted to be able to get up and go whenever I felt like it, and I can't stay in one place for too long. And I know how happy making memories with my family and traveling the world and seeing different cultures makes me, and I just want to provide that space for other people. So we've been looking at all these properties, and the agents have been telling us what makes the most logical sense from an investor's point of view and all of that stuff. And as much as it's interesting, I'm like, look, what makes the most sense to me is that it's in a location that I would love to be in. It's got the views that I'd love to be surrounded by. It's got the standard that I'd love to be surrounded by. It's got the opportunity to create the experiences that I would love if I was going away, because that's what I want to give to people. So when people come and stay in one of our properties, it's things, it's something they remember for a lifetime. Just like that retreat place, for any of you that are following us over there, the heart and soul that we put into that venue is what will go into absolutely every property that we get our hands on. This isn't just a case of do them up and flip them, or get them ready with cheap furniture because it's just going to be a rental. No, absolutely not. It's an expression of me. So our new home, I'm not going to share what it's called yet, and what the theme's going to be and what's going to go on there, because it's a bit of a secret at the minute till everything gets confirmed. But super excited, and it's in one of our favourite whitewashed Spanish villages, a little place called Mijas Pueblo. I don't know if any of you have heard of that, but it's just picture cobbled streets, church bells ringing, horse and carriages, people busy in the morning running from the bakery and the butchers, and little boutique shops and gorgeous tapas restaurants, a proper Spanish experience. It's amazing. So that's on the cards. We're also going to Portugal to get a property there in September, because we want to start moving around again, and I want homes in different locations again. COVID's not going to stop us from travelling at all, but we're just going to do a lot more closer to home. So going to be spending more time in Portugal, going to be spending more time in England, some other parts of Europe, before we can get a little bit further afield again. So excited. Love me, as do you, Kate. You'll know what I mean then. It's such a special little village. Best ice cream shop ever. Okay, so let's dive in, because I've gushed enough about my news. Freelancer, stroke service provider, or CEO, that's the topic of conversation tonight. There's a massive difference, huge difference in the two. And a lot of people, thank you. I love you all so much for saying congratulations. I will come back to everybody and make you see how grateful I am. But I'm going to crack on with the training and stop speaking now, because I'm probably irritating some people. So there's a big difference between the two. Service provider, freelancer, or someone that's building a business, an empire that will stand the test of time and pay them abundantly. You know, some people leave their job or decide to leave a job and income to be in business, and they go self-employed, just about get by if they're lucky. You know, that the job, that the business venture ends up paying them as much as the job did, maybe a little bit more if they're super lucky, and they end up working a lot longer than they did in the job for the same amount of money, because it's your business now. So there is no clock out and switch off mentality. It's always on your mind. Even if you're not physically running your business and providing a service, you're thinking about it all of the time. You're worrying about it all of the time. They don't come with a manual, do they? Like babies. They just arrive, and they're needy. They need you all of the time, and they consume your every waking moment. And your boss is the biggest lunatic you've ever had. It's you. And you care more about this than you ever did any job, let's face it, and becomes all consuming. And then you've got people that go into business to build a business, who build a business that's fully operational, that they are the leader of, that they're not just a service provider within the business delivering a service, but they're someone that knows how to think high level strategically and put processes in place strategically for the growth of that business. They're not lost in the service. They're not lost in being a service provider. But how do you know the difference between the two? As in, how do you know what you're building? How do you know that you're doing the right things to become the CEO and live abundantly and create wealth and, you know, impacts on a large scale? How do you know if you're on the way to that, or whether you're on your way to becoming burnt out freelancer that's just about getting by? Because for most people, they don't know until they're there. They don't know until they suddenly don't have time, haven't got enough money in the bank, feeling really frustrated, not actually loving the process of building the business like they thought they would. Most people leave employment and they think it's the dream. I'm going to go out and do what I want to do for me. I'm going to not put money in there till anymore. I'm going to put it in my own. I'm going to be rich because I'm going to be a business owner. And it's not until they're on their knees that they discover, actually, what I've built here is worse than any job. I'm still exchanging time for money. I'm still working too much in the business and not on the business. I don't know how to get it to the next level, blah, 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 blah. And typically, you know, it's like, for example, I'm going to give you an example of a lady that I spoke to very recently, who reached out to me and said that she'd trained as a yoga teacher for a big, well-known company, and she had gone through a training. She'd worked for this company. She was very, very good at what she does. She was paid a wage to yoga classes and yoga instructor classes as well throughout her career. She always paid a salary, worked a lot of hours, just about got by, loved yoga, didn't want to give up being, you know, that being in her life, but she wanted more money, she wanted more freedom, she wanted more time. So immediately she thought, my answer is do it for me, leave the job and do it for me. By the time I spoke to her and she reached out to me, she'd been doing it for a year. She was earning just about what she was earning in the job, way more stressed and working way more hours. Relationship was suffering, lifestyle was suffering, because what she'd done is she thought, if I go out and do what I'm doing here for myself, I'll earn more money. And you don't. If you go out and do what you've always done in a job alone, you'll earn probably about what you got in a job with way more stress and pressure, because you think, well, I'll get to keep the money that I'm earning rather than them paying me a wage. But you forget the fact that you know how to be a great yoga teacher, yoga instructor, but you don't know how to run a business because they didn't teach you that within your job as a yoga instructor. And that's the big difference. So people become burnt out, stressed, not earning their worth. But the good news is, it doesn't have to be like that. It doesn't have to be like that. Every skill that you've acquired in a job or outside of a job can be turned into a profitable business, but it has to be run like a business. You can't set it up with service provider, freelancer mentality and expect to build $1 million business, because you're never going to get there with that same mentality, with the same actions, with the same structure. So I want to give you an idea on how 3 things to consider to make sure that you're building a CEO style empire that will pay you abundantly and give you freedom and time and sanity, or versus, the freelancer burnt out and out of control and broke. 3 things. Now would be a really good time to grab a pen and paper if you haven't already got one. Tell me, guys, is the wind annoying you? Can you hear it? Because it's just like circling the spot that I'm sat in at the minute. I am undercover, so I'm hoping it's not too bad for you. But please let me know if it's bothering you. And thank you for all your congratulations. I'm so excited. I'm going to be keeping you updated over on that retreat place. You can follow us on Instagram or the business page with the new property and what we're going to be doing there and what sort of things we're going to be offering for people. So you can stay in the loop on the interior design again, because I'm so looking forward to that. And so what sort of trips we're going to be offering there as well. Okay, the wind's fine. Good. So let's kick off. Number 1, 3 things to consider. The first thing is your business plan. Every great business needs a great business plan. So many people don't have a business plan. And it's not because they just thought, oh, fuck it, I'm not going to do one. It's because they didn't think to, or they don't know how to. That's the reality. But a business plan is the first thing we do in WAM, the Wealth Accelerator Mentorship, because we've got to lay the foundation for the success. If there's no business plan, you are 100% a freelancer or a service provider. Your business plan should tell you how you're going to hit the figures that you want. Because writing them on a goal board or a dream board or cutting out pictures, yes, we need to feed our mind with the things we want in order for us to connect the dots and know how to get it, and from a manifestation point of view. But it needs to be more than that. We need more than that. A business plan shows you how you're going to get it. Who are we going to serve? How much is it going to cost? Where are we going to find these people? What's the structure strategy of the business, and how is it going to build in year 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5? Business plan should be a 5-year plan, and it should be like clear as day. This is how the business is going to come together, so that you don't end up just taking action. Because if you just get your head down and start going, right, now I'm a yoga instructor, or now I'm a coach, or now I'm a relationship counsellor and I need clients, so I'm just going to go out and start getting clients because I just need clients. That is a mistake. Because even if you're one of the lucky people that end up getting clients with a plan as loose as that, it's not going to be long before you don't know where your next client's coming from and you're living paycheck to paycheck. It's not going to be long before you're questioning, how do I level up from here? And why do I feel so stuck and trapped? I've got clients, I've got everything I want, right? Why am I feeling so deflated then? Why am I feeling so... I'm sure I'm meant to be happy now. Like, it's not long before that arrives. Business plan, business plan, business plan. You absolutely need to put pen to paper and have everything worked out. What problem am I going to solve? Who am I going to solve it for? How does my skill set help them solve that problem? How are we going to solve that problem? What am I going to actually offer them? What's it going to be priced at? Where am I going to find these people? How am I going to scale it up? Does it hit the income that I want to hit? Do I have the time that I want to have each week in doing this work? There's lots of questions to answer when it comes to the business plan. The second thing we need to be super, super clear on is the fact that we are not working to become the best service provider we can be at this point in the journey. We are working to become the best leader and entrepreneur we can be, and that requires a very different skill set. So if you're a coach that has recognised, for example, that you have a skill set, knowledge to offer somebody else that can solve a problem that someone will be prepared to pay for, and you're still focusing on all these different coaching qualifications to make you a better coach, you're missing the point. Because yes, knowledge might help you become a better coach, for example. Working with people is going to make you an even better coach. Getting eyeball to eyeball with your ideal client, listening to their problems, seeing how the journey unravels, getting the actual real-time experience is what's going to really help you get better. But none of that stuff is going to help you get better at operationally running a business and knowing how to get in the office in the morning and know what your day looks like. How to lead a team of people to do the things that need to be done without you having to do them, so that when you step away, because you're going to take a few months out, the business still stands up. That's the true reflection of whether a business is a successful business. It's not about how much money it's bringing in only. Yes, that's a factor, but it's not about how much money you're bringing in only. It's not about your turnover only. It's about, when I step back from it, does it still stand up? Or is it a bit like a house of cards, you know, a good gush of wind and it's done? That's a reflection of you, your leadership skills, your ability to delegate, your ability to talent spot, recruit, hold people accountable, your ability to think strategically, your ability to develop habits, disciplines, characteristics of an entrepreneurial leader, an entrepreneurial thinker. You're not born with this. I refuse to believe. Some people might be born with natural abilities that make it easier for them, granted, but everybody can learn. Everybody can learn to be a really great skipper. You've got to focus on the right stuff. You've got to focus on the things you need to know to be a better entrepreneur, rather than getting lost in the detail, the tactical work. It's high-level thinking, high-level strategy. Point number three, everything needs to have a process. If anything that has to get done in your business is in here and not written down somewhere so that somebody else could pick it up like a training manual and copy it, then it's not worth having. Because you are the business if everything's in here. If there's only you that knows how to do it, there's only you that trust to do it, then you're the business. And you should be running the business, not becoming the business. So everything has a process. Let me give you an example. If your business isn't bringing in leads, and this is what I see a lot of. Oh, I'll do a live video today. I did a live. I've been posting on Facebook every day. I've got an Instagram account now. I've even been interviewed on a few podcasts, but I've got no clients. And I ask again, so what's the process for generating leads in your business? And I'm met with the same response. Well, I do lives and I post on social media every day and da-da-da-da. Okay, I hear that you do stuff to put yourself out there on social media, but I'm not hearing a process that can be measured strategically, that has clear key performance indicators that tell us whether something's working or not working, because none of that stuff does that. And what happens is people that just post on social media, do a quick live and have no strategy, no process, no checklist that says, this is what I do, this is how many leads it brings me, and da-da-da-da, those leads turn into da-da-da-da-da. And if it's not working, these are the things I need to look at. If you don't have that, then what you end up doing is you end up being emotional. You end up thinking, it feels like it's not working because of this. It feels like no one's listening to me. It feels like I do lives and then no one takes action after. It feels like my content isn't good enough. It feels like my audience is wrong. I think my offer's not right. And then we start feeling a lot of stuff rather than knowing a lot of stuff backed up by evidence, facts and figures, and we start making the wrong decisions, and all you do is go around in circles. So you need a process. You need a checklist. You need KPIs to measure your progress by. Again, this is exactly what I insist when I'm working with someone, is that I can look at their process, I can look at it and I can say, is it working or isn't it working at a glance? And I can help them see where we need to tweak it, because we've developed the process together. Now, let me just say this, no two processes are the same. No two women that I've ever worked with have come out with the exact same strategy, verbatim. Same checklist, same. There is no fucking one-size-fits-all cookie-cutter strategy that works. It drives me mad when people suggest that they have a system. And if you just apply this system, all of your business problems will go away and you'll be rich and abundant. Bollocks. I call bullshit on that. I call bullshit because we are all unique as business owners. We have unique offers, unique strengths and skills and abilities that when they come together, they make the business unique. So how can everybody have the same plan that you just work? So everybody that goes through the Wealth Accelerator comes out with a slightly different variation of what works. We take what works and we make it work for you, with you on it, your skill set, your strengths, your ways of working, the things that you do, want to do, Without that, you can take cookie cutter strategies all you like and try and apply them you know, as an overlay to your business, and you'll always go around in circles and feel frustrated, because every process needs to be right for you and your business. So with that said, let me just quickly summarize 3 things that you need to work on now if you know you're heading for freelancer that's just about getting by, if you're lucky, and burnt out. Number 1, make sure you've got a really solid business plan in place. Number 2, develop the skills of a leader and a CEO and an entrepreneur, rather than focusing on the low-level tactical stuff that's never going to get you to high-level CEO. And number 3, make sure everything in your business has a process that can be measured. You don't know where to start with doing any of these 3 things. If you're sat there scratching your head going, I don't know how to develop a business plan that I know with confidence would work. I don't know what skills I need to develop to become a high-level CEO, because I don't know what I don't know. I do get it, I understand. And if you're thinking, I don't know what processes to put in place to measure them by, and I need help to just get all that in place so then I can carry on doing it alone, then the Wealth Accelerator mentorship is designed for you. I'm not going to give you a hard sales pitch. If you think it might be for you, we've got 4 spots left for our September enrollment. 30th of September, you would be joining us for 6 months. And we will be working alongside you solidly for those 6 months, the team and I, with a combination of one-to-one and group support. We will help you get the business plan in place that makes sense, checked by me personally, strategized with me and you. Like we will thrash it out so we know we've got the perfect business plan. We will then help you to develop the skills you need to execute that plan. And then we will help you make sure that you have a process in place to continue executing that plan when you graduate on month 6. If you want to be one of the many success stories that come out of this program, you need to get in contact ASAP by sending me a message or commenting below saying, can I have some more information please? If you'd rather send us a message, that's absolutely fine. Tell us that you'd like some information on WAM. The team will then tell you the selection process for that, because there is quite a tight selection process. It involves a call with me to make sure that it's a fit for you, and that we are absolutely the best team to help you. It requires an hour call of me picking your brain and seeing where you're at. Please don't be deterred by this. I don't bite. I want to get to know you. I want to make sure that we vibe, and I want to make sure that you're ready for success, because failure's not an option if we do this. So you know what to do.